Hello everybody, my name is Kravyets. I hope you're having a good day. I know usually I'm putting out videos like finance, education, BS that's been on my mind, the usual trash, but I do want to get into making videos about cars because I do like cars. I'm a very big car nut, not much for the engines and fiddling with the engines and like making them go faster, but just really more so car design and how things look. And I really want to just get into sharing my opinions and my thoughts on the current cars that are being placed out into the market today. And so I think I'd start a playlist now about about current vehicles. And I'm going to start actually with one of my favorite car brands. It's the car brand I drive right now, which is Lexus. And what I think Lexus should make in the future and could maybe change one of their current generation cars, kind of move it in this direction to be competitive with some of the German and Korean cars that are being put out right now. So we're going to switch over to the laptop and I'll show you what I think. So, welcome again, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be about a car, not a SUV, but a car, a sedan, I think Lexus should make. Okay, so let's get into it. So, a very nice car that Lexus did have was the old GS. It was more of a sports sedan, and those did not sell too well, especially with the current SUV market. And so these guys died out. I think they said they were maybe going to bring it back as a fuel cell car, but I have yet to see anything about that. I think Lexus is going the electric route. But it's sad to see that the GS basically is no longer with us. That was their like 5 Series competitor, Mercedes E-Class competitor. I don't even know. Audi A6 competitor. You know, this sports sedan muscle car, they don't have it anymore. So that performance section sedan is out. So that's a big mistake. The current LS, still in production. It's a big barge sedan, right? It's a big, what's it called? A land yacht. I like this refresh of it with the new wheels that they have for options. Especially the new headlights. I'm a fan of the new headlights. I think they look a lot cleaner. However, from certain angles, it looks very bulky, right? So I think they need to figure out a way to make this look sleeker. Sleeker, maybe like a sort of Mercedes or something like Audi does. From the side view, I think it looks perfectly fine. However, I would get rid of this little shoulder line here. I think that interrupts the greenhouse. It just doesn't look good at all. I do like how this rear tail light kind of lurches forward onto the side of the body and sort of connects with the door handles. It's a very nice line going on. And this line under here, starting from the back of the first wheel, kind of starts swooping upwards and up through the whole length of the vehicle. Very nice side profile. I just think it could be done a little slimmer. So let's see here for the sales figures. For some Lexuses, Audis, BMWs, Porsche, whatever. The Lexus GS from 2005 sold about 3,400 units, 34,000 units, sorry. 2021, they only sold 80 max, 76 units. That's terrible. The Lexus LS in 2005 sold 26,000 units. In 2001, they sold only under about 4,000 units, right? 3,800 units. Audi A8 in 2005 only sold 5,430 units. So they were beating Audi in 2005, which is pretty cool. But in 2021, Audi, of course, took a nosedive, 2,000 units, more than the GS, but less than the LS, okay? BMW 7 Series, 18,000 in 2005, 2021, 7,000 units. People bought more BMWs than they bought Lexus LSs. The S-Class 2005, people bought about half as many S-Classes as they did Lexus GSs, and about LSs as well. The LS was still on top. In 2021, it looks like people prefer the Mercedes. 14,000 units sold. Porsche Panamera didn't have a 2005 model. They started it in 2010. So in 2010, the Porsche Panamera sold about 7,740 units. Pretty decent number. And that was back in 2010. 10 years later, 11 years later, they've only gone down about half of those sales figures. So still pretty good. And the Porsche Panamera is a nice looking car. Audi A7 started that in 2011 as well. Sold about 6,200 units in its first year. Again, 10 years later, that sales number is about in half, 3,080 units. Kia Stinger, finally, a South Korean brand. 2017, they only sold under 900 units. In 2021, they increased. I think they're the only increase on here, actually. They sold about 13,000 units, 13,500 units. Yeah, they're the only increase in 2021. It's kind of interesting. So that those sales figures and Lexus's design language, I think they have good design language. They're moving more towards the SUV route. I think they're not doing as much as they could for their performance line. And some of their interior choices, I think, are awful. But, you know, what should Lexus kind of do now? I think they should look at their competition, really. Look at what the competitors are doing and what is Lexus lacking. Look at all of these cars. 5 companies, 6 different vehicles. We have an Audi RS5 here, another Audi A7 here. We have the Kia Stinger, very nice car actually, I see these a lot. Kia Stinger here, Porsche Panamera here. This is a BMW, I want to say this is an 8 Series Grand Coupe or a 430 Grand Coupe. I forget. I'm not really a BMW guy, but it's a fastback hatchback sports sedan. And then finally, I think these are the 3 kings. I feel, but I think the best one out of all of them is this Mercedes AMG GT 4-door sedan. This thing is just beautiful. So let's take a look at what all these cars are sports sedans with that hatchback, fastback, whatever you want to call it, opening. This is what Lexus is lacking, and this is what they should probably make. Reintroduce it as the GS, or maybe redesign the LS into something more like the A7, the AMG GT 4-door, or the Porsche Panamera. I think that would sell. Lexus does not have a sleek hatchback, fastback, if you want to call it, sports sedan. And it's a very nice color blue also. And if you got Lexus fanboys too, I'm a Lexus fanboy. If Lexus were to literally take this Mercedes, slap a Lexus logo on it, and put the Lexus grill on and put that Lexus reliability in there, I would buy that. No questions asked. It's just a beautiful, slick-looking car. It looks fast, and it looks like it's moving even when it's stopped. I did come across this rendering, though. This is from a couple weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago. But someone thought a return of the Lexus GS could look like. And they interpreted it as sort of a hatchback. I think it's a good idea. A good start to some more aggressive styling. And a good entry into like that sportback hatchback field. But it looks a little wonky at the end here. And you're going to see my sketches in a while. I'm not by any means proficient at drawing cars, but I think the end could be done better in this guy. But I would still like to see a reintroduction of the GS, maybe even a hatchback GS that could, like I say right here, could compete with the Audi A5, maybe that BMW 430 hatchback, something like that. But bring back that GS sporty sedan. So you could have the Lexus GS sedan come back as that hatchback, fastback sedan, but you need something bigger and bolder to compete with the Porsche Panamera, the Audi A7, the Mercedes AMG GT sedan, GT four-door sedan, right? So I think they should redesign the LS not as a traditional sedan with a regular trunk lid, whatever you want to call it, but that fastback, sportback sedan profile and make it very sleek, but still spacious like the AMG GT four-door sedan and the Porsche Panamera and the A7. Just make it the Japanese version of it. And this is my awful rendition here. Something like this. You'd still have your Lexus lights. Maybe you could change the Lexus grille. I prefer the grills from 2011 to 2013 myself. Have a very long sloping hood line. Have your greenhouse and trunk kind of connect to each other. You're going to have, of course, that hatchback opening. Like the current generation LS, we could have the tail lights kind of slide into the side here, go down, have a vertical element to them as well. Have from the LS currently, again, that nice body line that swoops from the bottom of the back of the front wheel up all the way through the end of the vehicle. And then also you could probably do some interesting things around here with the greenhouse, like instead of maybe a regular, regular door opening, you have like coach doors as well instead, and make a nice glass all panoramic roof so it's not so dark looking on the inside. And this was kind of what I was trying to think of for the tail lights. You have that little vertical element, one LED across the whole back of the vehicle, and then of course that horizontal X-axis element going into the side of the vehicle as well. There's another one coming on, and have the wheels. I still like the wheels from the current LS. That's very nice. This is what I came up with. So you see, I am by no means a car designer or proficient in drawing cars on my iPad. More so do organic chemistry stuff. But what I did here is I just took a LS, and it looks a little blocky. Took an LS, kind of cleaned up the headlights a little bit. Have a even sharper headlights right now than we have. We keep the Lexus grille, the big old grille that we come to know. If we have a Lexus F Sport, give it a nice little clean badge. Don't make it so, I don't know, so radical looking. For the greenhouse here, something I would like to see them do is get rid of the shoulder line that the current LS has. So just have it a very nice one line going from the start to the end of the greenhouse and then branching up to the roof. Don't have that interruption that the current LS has. Something else would be, I think this would be very plausible, is coach doors, suicide doors rather, more people know. Or at least maybe the option for suicide coach doors, where you have your front driver's door opens regularly and the rear passenger's door opens on a hinge near the rear of the vehicle instead of on the B pillar. It opens on the C pillar, something like that. You see the tail light kind of inch forward right here. And then I critiqued the design earlier for being a little bulky in the back. Mine's bulky as well. I couldn't figure out how to make this look nice from this perspective. I might have to send it to a actual car designer and see how they can fix this up for me, if they could. I kept the wheels. Didn't want to play with those. I like the nice bit of chrome flowing through the whole vehicle. And then something else I would do, but I couldn't figure out how to do it without ruining my interpretation of what I would like Lexus to do, is to make sure this greenhouse has a very small silhouette, right? You something sort of like they have on the AMG GT four-door sedan and the Porsche Panamera. Something like that I think would go along really, really well. So not as big and clunky as this is right here. Here's the rear disregard that I was playing around. So I think I like um, this angle the most, to be honest with you. I think it shows off what I would like a little bit better. I would still say, of course, get this greenhouse as sleek and small as you can with it still being comfortable for 4 people, the drivers and the passengers. But get that thing as small as you can, like the AMG GT 4-door sedan did. Maybe have a bigger body panels to hide some of it and make that silhouette smaller. But we did the same thing here again. I kind of tried to move the handles of the vehicle, and actually what I also did was incorporate them into the doors. So it's something like a, oh goodness, I don't think Lincoln does it. I think the new G90 does it. But the door handles don't even, they can protrude out, or you can just click them and the door will open. You don't have physical door panels ruining the lines of the vehicle. So hidden door handles would be something to see real nice. And this, again, coach door idea for the front and back. Wheels are stock. You see the silhouette of the hatchback, fastback idea as best as I could try to do. I didn't really mess with the lines too much, but it would be something sort of like that. You wouldn't have this little bend here. It would just be kind of straight back and down. This whole place here would be your trunk, your hatch, I guess you could say. And what I focused on in this perspective really was getting those windows in and trying to figure out what I would do with the exhaust and the tail lights. So with the exhaust, I do like square exhaust on certain vehicles. However, it has to fit in, I don't know, it has to fit somehow with the vehicle. I think circular exhaust ages better than rectangular, but these ones on an LS look very nice. So I wouldn't mind keeping that on a stock LS, like a regular base model. But if you went for maybe like an F Sport edition, maybe the F Sport is twin exhaust on either end of the vehicle instead of something rectangular and sort of boring and more refined, something a little more looser and sporty is twin circular exhaust on either side that are indeed real exhaust and not just fake makeup for the vehicle. Here, have the underbody swoop up drastically, right? So you want that underbody of the vehicle to swoop up drastically. You see it sort of in the AMG GT 4-door sedan. Something about that car, whoever designed it, 2 thumbs up. Like I said, I want an AMG GT 4-door sedan, but Lexus, okay? So Lexus do that. And then the tail light idea here for the Lexus to do. I think all the car companies now are doing it. I think I first saw it with Lincoln, but have a nice one continuous LED light across the whole, spanning the whole back of the vehicle, and have this same light be part of the tail light that inches to the side of the body of the vehicle, right? It goes into that other, into the side of the vehicle and the back, okay? And then you can also have some divots here. So simple clean line here. And then these could be like your brake, part of your brake lights, turn signals, whatever. But have another element here that's kind of more organic, more free-flowing, okay? Not just one simple LED line, because I think that looks too contemporary, and Lexus isn't modern and boring, right? It's luxury elevated, I think their experience defined, I forget. But they're not about that one LED. I think this works pretty fine with what Lexus is trying to do. So you have this little organic element here, this little swoop and dash is making it a little less angular, right? And this would be fine. And I feel the need for this as well. This little vertical element here. It sort of feels Cadillac to me, but not too much. And I think you would need it more for necessity, because people on the roads are they're very dumb. So this would be another indication for people, hey, I'm braking, hey, I'm turning left. Like this would be a big part of your turn signal here. Turn signal, turn signal here and here, just to let people know. And it could do a little, with the LED and how big it would be, right? You can do a little dance. Maybe if you wanted to, when it starts up, it could have a little concert going on. But maybe that should be optional, because I personally don't like it. Like what the Audi A7 does right now. But yeah, this is what their backside should be. You should have that exhaust option, 20-inch wheels, very simple greenhouse. Get rid of that shoulder line, right? We don't want that. We don't want this big bulge interrupting the gracefulness of the vehicle. Because like the simpler it is, the less lines we have. I believe the cleaner it looks and the more timeless the design is, right? So something like that. And give us at least the option of coach doors with our door handles tucked away into the door of the vehicle so it doesn't disrupt the airflow and the lines of the vehicle. Okay? So there's that. I think I have one more. Yeah, here's a side view. This is my awful side view vehicle, or side view picture that I made. Again, the base is an LS, and this is kind of what I started with. This is actually the first picture I did to kind of get an idea of what I was doing. We started with an LS. I did not, in this one, I did not get rid of the shoulder line. So here you see, we still have this bump up here, right? I would still get rid of this and try to figure something out. How to make it sleek and look nice without this big bulge up here interrupting that greenhouse. Something I'll say right off the bat, it was very hard for me to try and get this car's rear end to angle up and in like this, to kind of have a nice little, I guess starting from the bottom of the grille up front, to kind of have it run across the body, begin an incline up, peak at a certain point at the incline, and then progress now into the roof of the vehicle and make the trunk, the greenhouse, the front windshield, and the motor, the hood. So this rear end area would have to be redesigned, I think, or made elongated, shortened, something that an engineer and an actual designer could do to make it look a little better, but also function. Let's see here. Right off the bat, let's just start left to right. Right off the bat, I would like to lower the window profile as much as possible. Maybe this is good. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't like it. If I were to keep this car right now, if this is what I'd have to say is the functional vehicle, I would want a slimmer profile for the windows, and maybe that means increasing the body panels, or increasing the body, pardon me, of the vehicle. And that would actually, if you think about it, that would take care of my little hump here, because I just move up the body panels here, and it's just one uninterrupted line. It gets rid of my shoulder line, and it makes my greenhouse look a little bit sleeker. So that might be the fix to it. You see here, I did not do the coach doors. Remember, coach doors are optional, but perhaps so should the handle. Maybe you do want the handle. I would prefer the touch handle. Let's see here. 20-inch rims are an option. Maybe 21-inch rims are even optional too. Who knows? We do like a good rim job, but do a 19-inch standard. That's a nice, comfortable ride there. I did play around with the headlights again. Something about this bottom part of the headlight, when you have the Lexus L logo, something about it when it kind of divots off into a 45-degree angle at the bottom, and something's going on there. I just don't care for that. I would love it to just have the Lexus L be the baseline of the light and nothing else be occurring there. Let's see here. engine options, I would like for they're probably the next LS, whatever the heck it's going to be, if they make one, right, will probably be electric. But I think here you should have the option of a V6 twin turbo would be standard. A V6 hybrid would be, for those who are more fuel conscious, I guess that would be something that I get. And maybe just do a V6 twin turbo hybrid. Is that plausible? I don't know. I'm not an engineer. Probably is. Or a mild hybrid rather. I just want more miles to the gallon is all, because gas right now is like $4.50 a gallon. And then for the get out of here. For the F Sport option, you would do a V8 twin turbo, just like the AMG GT 4-door sedan, and I think some of the Porsches have that as well. But my thing would probably be the V6 hybrid twin turbo. Let's see here. We would have a rear coach door option, right? Again, we would have the continuous LED tail light strip, so something like this, one LED light. Our Lexus, we would spell out Lexus at the back, not just the Lexus emblem. I want that Lexus spelled out, please. That looks more luxurious, right? Luxurious. We have these little inclinations diving off of the main LED to give us some more light, some more brake power. And this could also function as our turn signals, hazard lights, something like that. It doesn't have to even be a main element like the continuous strip is, but they should be present at least, just to give it some more character, some more flow. And then these vertical elements again, I think, just so the car is not boring, just so it doesn't feel like there should be something there, but there's not. A little bit Cadillac-esque, I think you could say, but it serves the purpose mainly as brake lights and helping with the turn signals. Continuous LED strip tail lights, LED on both the X, Y, and Z axis. So X on the back, Y on the back, and the Z axis, it would be lurching into the side of the vehicle, right over here. Let's see what else we got. I wrote some other stuff down here. I forget what it is. And then we would have, again, my problem here is rounding off the back of the vehicle, trying to find that nice sweet spot so that it's sleek and sporty, like the AMG GT 4-door sedan, but is still functional. So maybe someone else sees it or can find the lines to do it. I personally cannot. Let's see, here will be our hatchback. Door opening right here, probably start around here. Close our door there. And yeah, what else here? Gas cap would be on the left or right, I don't know. Honestly, I don't really care. The mild hybrid plug-in would be probably over here. For the F Sport logo, do something like this. I think if you're gonna do an F Sport logo, I'm not an F Sport kind of guy, but make it kind of clean and what would you say, classy, right? Kind of like what Cadillac does on the sides of their vehicles where they put the Cadillac emblem. Do something like that, but make it an emblem for the Lexus F Sport. Just something kind of there, but not quite in your face. Like, hey, this is a Lexus L Sport or a Lexus F Sport. It's no big deal. I just go fast. And that's it. Let's see here. We'll go back to it. Let me see here. Just the fact, this is my biggest inspiration, honestly, here. The Mercedes AMG GT sedan, right? Let's go to that again. If they could find a way to get the LS, to get the GS, make the GS return, but have the GS be the competitor to the RS5. Have the GS be the competitor to this BMW, whatever the heck this BMW is. I want to say it's a 7 or 8 series. I think it's a 4 series though. And then you redesign that Lexus LS finally. Take hints from your customers, right? Please take their ideas into considerations and make the LS into something that will compete with the Porsche Panamera, with the Audi A7, with the Mercedes AMG GT 4-door sedan. Because I think a lot of these people who used to maybe have an LS, right? They see these cars like this, they're like, these are a lot sleeker, these are a lot cooler looking. And there's a point where that, that Lexus reliability is just like, well, you got a reliable car, but it's still a boring, same old boring car. Yeah, you guys haven't changed up in quite a while. I'd rather get one of these. So if Lexus were to come out with a competitor to these guys right here, I think they would they'd make a lot of money on it. So at least entertain the idea of it and ask your consumers what they think. Let me know what you guys think, actually. Should the Lexus LS be turned into a hatchback, fastback, family sports sedan that competes with the Mercedes AMG GT 4-door sedan, that competes with the Audi A7, that competes with the Porsche Panamera? I think it should. And I think they should also have a wide range of motor options as well. Give it a V8. Give it a V6 twin turbo. Give it a V6 twin turbo hybrid as well. I believe out of all 3 of these, Porsche is the only one that offers this vehicle in a hybrid. I don't think there's an A7 hybrid. I don't think there's a Mercedes AMG GT 4-door sedan hybrid. So give it that hybrid option for those more fuel fuel conscious consumers, but also give it that F Sport option for those guys who like to go really fast and impress the girls they think and show off how big their bulges are. But that's it for today. I think that's it for this video. I'm getting tired. I gotta make another video about chemistry. And leave comments down below. Is this a stupid idea? Should Lexus make this? Should Lexus give up on sedans altogether and make the new LS an SUV like they made the new Ford Mustang an SUV? Let me know what you guys think, and see you later.